What's up, guys? My name is Caleb Holley with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and you're listening to the Riders Outside podcast.
Welcome to the Rider Outsiders, where we talk CFL football and your Saskatchewan Roughriders. I'm Mitch Wiles. And today on the show, we have Rider receiver Caleb Holley. We also have Calgary Stampeders superfan Rob Rayner. Now, today's show is going to be a little bit different. Bryce Wiles has the day off, and I'm up in Alaska, just outside of Anchorage, Alaska. So the majority of the show is going to come from Dillon Robinson, and he's at Mosaic Stadium, and he's there for the Riders' big win, 40-27 over the Calgary Stampeders. Now, that tape is still to come in, and so we'll start off with an interview with Caleb Holley talking about Duron Carter leaving the team and also about his bigger role in the receiving corps. And Holley also has a connection to Anchorage, Alaska. Here's that interview.
Here I am, Dillon, on the sidelines of the Rough Riders practice field with Caleb Holley. Caleb, thanks for joining us on the show.
Oh, no problem, man.
So just get a quick little background on you. You were born in Albany, Georgia, and when you're about 12 or so, you moved to Anchorage, Alaska.
Anchorage, Alaska, yes, sir.
So at what point in your life in Anchorage did you think to yourself, I want to play pro football?
Actually, I didn't think of that. Well, actually, I always thought of that, actually, just to, because I always looked up to, Randy Moss, T.O., those kind of guys. And, just go out there and shoot, just play football. When I started playing, I started in 8th grade, going into my 9th grade year. So ever since I was little, I was, just want to be playing football.
And was receiver always your goal position, or did you have other? Did you want to be the quarterback, receiver? What was your dream position?
My dream position was a DB because I was just athletic, but I liked playing both sides. But then at receiver, it came to me quicker. It was just I was running past guys, I can jump, so I was just athletic. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick to receiver.
Did you play in the Arena Football League with the LA Kiss, or was that just...
No, I never played with them. I was supposed to go down there, but I made a decision not to based on other opportunities, and it worked out for me.
And that's when you went to Sioux City?
Sioux Falls City, yep.
And how was that time there?
Oh, it was fun. We're on a championship.
You guys had 21 touchdowns in 11 games with Sioux City.
Yeah.
That's stellar. That's a big number, man.
Yeah, it was just one of those. I'm not gonna say it was too easy, but it was pretty easy.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
Yeah. So last year, right here in this corner, you scored your the first touchdown in New Mosaic Stadium.
Yeah. So
that sort of goes into the history books. Do you still have the ball for that one?
Yes, I do. Is it my crib? And in a glass, my pops has it.
Nice. So you're going to be holding on to that one for a while.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a ball. I'm never going to be throwing it around. It's going to be sitting in the cabinet the whole time.
In an interview earlier this year, you said that you were shocked at Bakari Grant's release, and so now the Riders have signed Rob Bagg. How do you feel about changes coming to the receiving core? Is change a good thing? Is it something where it's it keeps you on your toes, or is it something where it's we almost got the formula, we're getting there?
It's a little of both. Just, at the end of the day, it's a business. We can't control what happens, so all you can do is go out there every day and just give it your all. And however the dice roll, you gotta go over the punches, So, like I said, we happy to have Rob back. That's a huge thing for us too, and especially in the receiving room. He's a great leader. My rookie year, first guy that came to talk to me was Rob, and ever since then, I always talk to Rob. He's one of my guys. So, I'm happy to have him back.
Can you just take the listeners back to when the Rough Riders first contacted you to join the team? How did you find out, and what was your reaction?
Actually, Mike Davis, he hit me up. He's like, have you played CFL before? I was like, nah. Have you thought about it? I was like, no, but if it's outside football, I'm with it. So he contacted me. He's like, they gave me a tryout up here, and the rest is history.
And in your rookie season, you had a pretty good showing. 2017, really good showing as well. This year, I guess there's been a lot of moving around with the receiving core and a lot of things. So how are you feeling about this year so far?
So far, it's not how we want it to be. Especially for me, I predicted for myself to be having good numbers, but it is what it is. I'm still gonna go out there and fight, play hard, and then whatever comes my way, catch the ball and just make plays. So.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's kind of cliche to say for the bye week is a fresh start, but this bye week for the Rough Riders does seem like sort of a big bye week. It's mid-season. The team needs some wins. Does this feel like a fresh start for the Riders in 2018?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, right now, we need every W we can get. So, I mean, from here on out, it's 12 games straight. So we can come in and put our best foot forward and let's win some games.
So I just got to ask, Duron Carter was your roommate, right? And so I'm just wondering how him leaving the team has affected you.
I mean, not even gonna talk about the team, just off the field. I mean, he's a great guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, I've been living with him 2 years now. He's been my roommate, and I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, like I said, it's a business, so we gotta just roll with the punches. But we're gonna forever, you know what I'm saying, be my homeboy. So. I mean, outside of that, I mean, it happens, so.
Has he talked about his plans for the future, talking maybe the Alliance Football League?
He's just been kind of like trying to get his mind off, everything, just trying to just focus on himself. So, I mean, he ain't really said much, so, I mean, I don't blame him.
So what are you most looking forward to about so Calgary's coming back here Sunday night. The podcast will air after the Calgary game. But what are you most looking forward to about getting Calgary back here in the stadium?
Just us going there and putting on the show and winning the game. Like, I mean, once we give up 24 points in like the first quarter or something like that, first half, I mean, that's hard for anybody to come back in. If you watch the game, we scratching the whole time, but just spotting the team 24 points, that's pretty tough to do. So, but if we don't do that, we win. I mean, it's a great game. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I was in the stands for that game, and it was a dogfight. It was a great game to watch. The emotion, intensity was really great to see. Are you looking forward to? Or do you know are you going to be getting the start on that game?
Yes, I'll be in there.
So you're looking forward to making some serious plays?
Yeah, yes, sir. Making a lot of great plays. So, and like I said, just putting our best foot forward and come out here and play hard and have a dogfight.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll get back to the podcast.
Yep.
Big thanks to Caleb Holley for that interview. And if you watched the game, then you would have saw that Caleb went down early with a knee injury. We're all hoping that it's not as serious as it looked, and he'll be back for the next game. Now, before kickoff, Dillon caught up with a group of guys that were taking in the CFL, at least one for the first time, from Australia. Here's a little bit of that.
Excuse me, sir. Could I just get, is this your first experience with a Canadian Football League game?
Yes.
So you've never seen Canadian football?
I've never even seen English football, and I was born there.
This guy has.
So you've seen Canadian. So we have three individuals here. One of them bringing us two friends from Australia to a Canadian Football League game. This is your first experience, or second experience with a Rough Riders football game. What do you know about Canadian football?
Very little, not much.
So we do know there's 3 downs. You got to get to the 0-yard line to score a touchdown, which is worth 6 points. Are you looking forward to tonight's game?
Sure, yeah, really enjoyed it. This is the first time I've been to the new stadium, so I'm looking forward to that.
So what do you think of the new stadium?
Beautiful, very good. Atmosphere is great, visibility is good. Yeah, I like it.
So the home team is the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Are you personally cheering for the Saskatchewan Roughriders to beat the Calgary Stampeders tonight?
For sure, yeah. We are. We all are.
All right, that's a little taste of the fans in the stadiums there. And so this game, 40-27 win, wasn't all about offense. Defense scored, special teams scored. Now here's a little bit of sounds from the game. Here's a pick six from Nick Marshall. And that crowd is pretty excited, but not quite as excited as our Dillon Robinson.
Saskatchewan Roughriders with the pick six. Number 3, Marshall with the pick six. Saskatchewan Roughriders are up 12-0 with the extra point to come.
What a call there from our Dillon Robinson. And as I said, the defense scored, the special teams scored. I believe it was Sam McGuavin got a punt block. And check this out.
Here I am, Dillon Robinson on the sidelines. We just watched the Saskatchewan Roughriders block a punt, recover it, run it back for a touchdown on the Calgary Stampeders to make it 21-6 with 8:28 left in the second quarter. Saskatchewan Roughriders are in the lead on arguably the best team in the CFL, the Calgary Stampeders. Jody, what did you see on that blocked punt?
Just magic, pure magic.
And Jody, of course, is Dillon Robinson's beautiful wife. And they've had season tickets for I'm not sure how many years, but they are definitely a dynamic duo at the stadium. And next week, we'll have to ask Dillon talk a little bit about his interaction with Rob Maver. I believe they got into a little bit of a spat on the sidelines. Now, Bryce Wiles, as I said, is off, and I'm up in Alaska. So today, after the game, Dillon got a hold of a Calgary Stampeders superfan, Rob Reiner. I think it's just outside the stadium, and they chatted about how this match broke down. Here is that conversation.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders just beat the Calgary Stampeders. Was it 40-27? Your thoughts on the post game?
You know what? I thought that actually was, sort of whistle to whistle the Riders' best game of the year. I thought their offensive line won the day. I thought their defensive line won the day. Games are won and lost on the line of scrimmage. I thought the Riders were the better team on the line of scrimmage tonight, but I give the Stamps full marks. The record is real. They are a force, and they battled back, and they showed a lot of heart tonight as well.
I'm thinking that the Calgary Stampeders have the second best quarterback in the Canadian Football League. I think the best is Mike Riley. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. Bo Levi Mitchell, what did you see from him today? Second best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. What did you see from him?
I thought Bo grounded out today. I thought he faced more pressure than he's used to. He normally doesn't get that much pressure. And I was really impressed that Bo stepped up and ran the ball tonight, because he is not a guy that typically will run the ball unless forced to, and that's a credit to Saskatchewan. They forced him to run the ball today. So I was really actually happy with the way Bo reacted to being down and to giving up that pick six. And, he missed a couple easy ones tonight, but it's a long haul, and you're going to do that. I think the jury is out. I think Bo Mitchell would be very happy giving Mike Riley props to be the best, air quotes, quarterback in the CFL if they can actually finish it in November this year.
Yeah, the Battle of Alberta, we're going to see that in Thanksgiving weekend when the CFL comes to town for Thanksgiving. The Battle of Alberta, Edmonton versus Calgary. What do you see for that battle?
That's always the pivotal battle for the Stamps and the Eskimos, is that Labor Day home and home, just like the Winnipeg Rider home and home. I think you go into that series always hoping you just win at home, and then whatever happens on the road happens. The Stamps have had their way with the Eskimos lately. I think they're a better team, but you saw tonight's an example where it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're not blocking, you're not picking up your assignments, and you're making mistakes, you're going to lose. Any team can beat any other team in this league. I don't care what the records are, and I think tonight was good proof of that. That will be the case for Labor Day. The Stamps fans actually have a lot of leeway for the team. If you win on Labor Day, you can get away with a lot the rest of the year.
You know what? I hear you that, because when it comes to the Roughriders versus the Blue Bombers, Labor Day, whether or not we're 1-7 or 7-1,
win Labor Day.
Dear God, you better win the Labor Day Classic.
Yeah, it's so true.
That's what it comes down to.
It's so true. But you know what this really will be now, I think. If the Stamps had won tonight, I think they pretty much guaranteed themselves a home date before Labor Day, which is crazy. So they're going to have to fight for that now. But I think for the other teams in the West, the Riders proved it is going to be a dogfight between Edmonton, Winnipeg, BC, and Saskatchewan. It is on. The finish to this season is going to be outstanding, and I think it really starts with the Labor Day weekend. It really does.
Yeah, I love the West because it's always a dogfight. And even when the Calgary Stampeders came in here a few weeks ago and scored 24 unanswered points, the Roughriders turned that game into a dogfight. And this time the Roughriders, I talked to a few of the Riders after that 24-point spot game that they gave the Stamps, and they said, if we don't give them 24 points, we're going to win the game. And that's exactly what they did. So let me just ask you this. Straight out, are the Calgary Stampeders winning the Grey Cup this year?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why they won't, unless they beat themselves like they did the last 2 years. They have a lot to live up to now. The last 2 years puts, I think, even added pressure on that team. They are, in my mind, the best team in the CFL. They are clearly the favorites to win the Grey Cup. That doesn't mean anything. You still got to go do it. I think the Riders proved tonight, and I thought the moxie they showed the last time the Stamps were here before the bye, that those are two very evenly matched, well-coached teams, and it's going to be a grind, and you're going to have to win those types of games late in the year. It's not about August. It's not about July. It's about October, November. So, yeah, I think the Calgary Stampeders are the class of the league, and they're the favorites to win the Grey Cup, but they got a heck of a lot of work in front of them to do it.
You heard it here first. Rider Outsiders podcast, talking to head-to-toe Calgary Stampeders fan right after the Riders have beat and bested the best team in the CFL, 40-27. Saskatchewan with the big win. Thank you, Rob, for joining us on the podcast, and maybe I'll see you again sometime in the future.
I hope so. That was a lot of fun. I'd love to do this again. Thank you.
All right. Big thanks to Rob Rayner for doing an impromptu interview after the big Rider win against the Calgary Stampeders. Now, we're going to call it a show there. We're planning a big show for the Labor Day Classic, and I'll be working my way down to Regina. So, broadcasting out of the the Mountain View RV Park outside Anchorage, Alaska. I'm Mitch Wiles for the Rider Outsiders. See you all next week.